In this video, I'll be teaching you how to be eligible for many of the airdrops. This is the Cosmos ecosystem page under CoinGecko. If we do some research, coins like Osmosis is sitting at 56, number 56 on CoinGecko. Things like Ion, things like JUNO, and the rest of them. Things like Litecoin, there have been either airdrops to people, Stargaze, or they will be airdrops to people. And this is a spreadsheet of Cosmos airdrop. So we can see a number of things like Bixon come there. Some of them have launched, Desmo, and some of them are soon to launch. Now, you might be saying, okay, how do I get eligible for things like airdrops like this? There's a website to track things like this. Let's talk about moving forward. What should you do to be eligible? One of the first things to do to be eligible, number one, is to have staked by some Cosmos. I think the minimum is like 5 Cosmos. Have like between 5 or 6 minimum Cosmos, buy them. It's around this amount, and then stake them. So it's not something that is very difficult to do. You download the Kepler wallet, Kepler extension wallet, and this is what I have here. And then, as you can see, I have some tokens staked since a long time ago. Then you can click stake. You send some Cosmos from an exchange to your address. You click stake. It's a pretty easy thing to do. It does not take a lot of time and a lot of knowledge. And you can stake with any of the validators. Now here is a rule of thumb: don't stake with validators that offer 0% commission. Now you can see here there are validators that offer 15% commission, 20%. Don't stake with things like this. And don't stake with those that offer 0. Those that offer 0 commission. Don't stake with those kind of people. And another rule again is don't stake with exchange validators. One of them is things like Binance. Don't stick with things like this. Don't stick with things like Coinbase. Don't stick with the likes of Kraken. Those are exchange. You will not be eligible for airdrops. But you can stick with other things like other stuff. A good example of what I stick with is Cosmotation. Okay, I stick with these guys. Cosmotation, Fabo, and people like this. You can see the amount I've staked with people like this. So in that way, you are eligible when there are airdrops. And the next thing again to do to maximize your the airdrop that you are likely to get, because when so we'll talk about the likes of Stargaze. I think Stargaze, if I'm not mistaken, let's search for stars. Let's see if it's right now. Stargaze. The market, I don't know if it's affected by it. Okay. Stargaze is what it's currently trading around. They gave around 200 2,000. Let's see the amount. Now, this is for each condition. Let me explain this to you. The airdrop is for 5 different participants. So if you staked a token, if you staked Atom, for each row, so these are rows: Atom stakers, those who provided liquidity, Stargaze validators on Cosmos, Stargaze validators on OSMOS, and Stargaze validators on Origin. So supposing all you did was you were a Atom staker, you will get this. What if you meet all these conditions? If you meet all these conditions, you just have to multiply. Is 243 That is a summary. So let's copy this. And paste it there. So this is what you could have gotten from just doing airdrops. So it's mind blowing. Okay, let's go to that sheet. From their sheet, they said some minimums were put in place to prevent those accounts. Okay, 5 accounts, 50. For some of them, they maybe 50 OSMOS, some 20, some 10, and the rest of them. Okay, so we've explained that you must stake atom. Okay, the next thing is that according to this list, you are in some way either stake OSMOS or provide liquidity OSMOS. Now OSMOS is the leading desk on Osmosis. You can go to Osmos app.osmosis.com. You can use the platform. And how do you provide liquidity? So we'll do a little bit of that. Come to assets, for example. So these are some of my assets. If I want to provide liquidity, I come to pools. Okay, most of them have been I have 0 atom right now. Most of them are in the pools. If you check the pools, my pools, you can see I've provided liquidity and then bonded some of the liquidity. Provide liquidity for atom, and then also for atom and stars. So these are the liquidity I've provided. So for this video, we'll show you how to do that. So let's say, okay, assets. I will deposit some atom. Okay, I have some available balance of 1 point something. I will deposit 1 for the sake of this video. The fees are very cheap, unlike Uniswap, and this is very fast. Congratulations, transaction success. Okay. Okay. So the transaction has been successful. You can see my balance has been updated. So what is the next thing to do now? I can swap. So let me go to trade. I want to do some trading. Okay, I've already provided liquidity, but I'll show you how to provide liquidity. So supposing I can swap, let's say 0.1 atom to Osmos. Let me swap that. Click approve. Should take some time. Okay, so I can come to the pools. You can decide to create a new pool. I know that, but we're not creating a new pool. What we're doing, we just want to stick to a pool that's already existing. Okay, let's say the pool 1 for the atom and the osmosis. So what do I do? So there are 2 things. You add liquidity. You can either add or remove liquidity, and after that, we can bond your liquidity to get more tokens. So I can add liquidity. So to add liquidity, I can decide to provide 2 pairs like this, just like on Uniswap, and then click add liquidity. Or I can say, okay, I just want to add a single side liquidity. That I just want to add atom, or I just want to add osmosis. And if you're doing that, there is a letter that says single assets LP allows you to provide liquidity using one asset. However, this will impact the pool price of the asset you are providing liquidity with. Once you're comfortable with that, you can go ahead and like say provide some of the liquidity. So let's do one-sided liquidity. you can do two-sided liquidity. And let's click. So I'm providing liquidity now. So that's confirmed, but we want to bond it. Bond liquidity to various minimum onboarding period to earn OSMOS reward and swap fees. So it's not just enough you provide liquidity like me now. I've done some bondings and everything. So okay, let's do some bondings for 7 days, and this is the AP. Let's go to this. The fees are very cheap. And then okay, the next thing again we talked about to be eligible is you can be a staker. Now, how do I stake? You come to stake, click stake, and you can see I've already staked this amount. You can decide to manage. Okay. Now the rule is that don't stake with exchange stakers, but you can stake with any of these people. You can click manage. You can click let's say delegate. You can click. Let me delegate one for the purpose of this video. Now look at what they say. Staking will lock your funds for 14 days. Normal Osmosis is 28 days, so take note of that. If you want to unstake, the process will take 48 days to unstake. So congratulations, successful. So it will soon be updated. Okay, it has been updated. Later. This is the video balance. Now another thing where you can also be eligible for airdrops is not just staking, not just providing LP. We've talked about staking, talked about providing liquidity, then staking of the OSMOS. Next thing you can do is you should be involved in governance. Now, before I go talk about that, there are some things that are very wrong. If, for example, many of the networks are giving airdrops to people who are stake to them, in some ways it's an incentive for people to stake, but I believe, I think this is a justifiable one, that people are not being victimized, that you do not stake with a particular validator. Therefore, and we have validators like Osmosis. Osmosis is doing an airdrop. Okay, they are not here. Osmosis is doing an airdrop, so you should not be victimized because you did not stake with them. So that's one of the things that should be noted. Now the next thing I'm talking about is you should vote on our proposals. So if you come to those Osmosis, you can vote there. If you're talking about OSMOS, for example, okay, we'll do deal with OSMOS. So you can vote on proposals, like even if you can vote a yes or no, but just vote, right? You can vote on a yes. I already voted yes, and so I can't vote again, but you can vote yes, no, and the rest of them. So just be keeping an eye on that. Maybe you never know when you're eligible for that. Talk about things like OSMOS. You can also vote on proposals. It's taking time to look now. Now another thing again is where people get eligible for these airdrops. Maybe if you hold tokens like ION. Sorry, I'm trying to push that. This token. Okay, we hold the token like this. I don't know why it does. If you hold the token like this, you could be eligible for some airdrops. Who knows? Another one is JUNO. JUNO, those tokens were airdropped to people. I can't really tell the ratio, but JUNO is doing pretty well right now. It's 118. As more of these coins are doing very well. You can buy JUNO. It's a smart contract platform that uses OSMOS and WASM. And you can buy these tokens, stake them. A lot of things have been built with this time, and then you maximize the airdrops. So these are some ways to keep up to date. There is a Cosmos airdrop guide. You can follow the page. You can follow Crypto Tool. There is a free link here, and then just do all that. So let's do some quick recap on how to be eligible for these airdrops. How to be eligible: have a minimum of 5 atoms staked. Now here it says 50 minimum, but I staked 20 minimum. Maybe some parts of them require 10 minimum, and the rest of them stake them. Provide liquidity, stake OSMOS, vote on proposals, hold some and stake some JUNO. Just do on any of these things because you want to prioritize how many of these tokens you get. Thank you very much.